Hello everyone. The purpose of this Anytime Anywhere workshop is to show my faculty how to add no copy and no print codes to their Blackboard tests. What this JavaScript code will do is prevent your students from highlighting, copying, and pasting your test questions elsewhere and prevent them from printing out the test while they're taking the test. They can go through the motions of doing file print, but blank paper will come out. So I'm going to be going into one of my Blackboard courses. I'm in my sandbox here on the control panel, and I'm going to go into the test manager, and I have a test that I've been using to try this out. So I'm going to be modifying my test. So here we are, and the place that you're going to be placing the JavaScript code will be in the instructions section of the test, and you can see that I have that here in the instructions section, and I've also selected HTML before I pasted the code here. And I also want you to notice that while I've been doing this, I do not have the icons showing at the top of the boxes. I have turned off the icons for the visual text box editor prior to doing this. So when you paste the code and click submit, what happens is the students will not be able to copy and paste the test questions. Okay? So here's how you turn off your text editor. And this is login specific. It is not computer specific. So when you turn off your visual text box editor options, as you see here, when you turn that off and make it unavailable, you need to do that prior to actually pasting the HTML code into your test. You can also go back and turn it back on later so that you will have the icons for the third row and for bold, italic, and colors, etc. But before we do the pasting of the JavaScript to prevent students from printing or copying your test questions, this needs to be unavailable first. So we're going to go ahead and submit and make that unavailable prior to going into the control panel and modifying the test. Okay, so I'm going to find my little test, and we're going to be using the instructions section, which can be modified here. Okay, now you'll notice there's description and instructions, and you need to be sure that you select HTML and make sure it goes into the instruction box. Okay, now where do you get the code? All right, well, I've gone on to the VCCS website, vccs.edu, and I searched for Instructional Technology and Distance Education, which is Inez Farrell's website. And on this page is the no copy and no print code. This is the newest version from David Carter Todd at the System Office, and this is the JavaScript that we are now to copy and paste to prevent printing and copying of test questions in Blackboard. So this is where we come to actually copy and paste the script. And you can see at the top of the window what the email address is. system.vccs.edu/ITDE for Instructional Technology and Distance Education, and this is the index or the home page. So what we're going to do now is we're going to highlight this script from one end to the other. Okay, and this is going to be copied. Now we're going to pop back into Blackboard, and this is where the script is pasted. This script will prevent your students from copying and printing the test. Now in this particular test I only have one question to make it simple and easy. And I happen to have deployed the test in a button of mine right here. So let's make this first. And now to try this out to show you that it actually does work, I'm going to log out as myself and log in as TN student, who I've already enrolled in my course, so that I can try this from a student point of view to show you that copying and pasting is not allowed and printing will not work. Scrolling to find my sandbox. And here we are in my sandbox course as a student with no control panel. Okay. Now you'll notice in Tools that the student has the text box editor on. Students can also make this text box editor unavailable prior to taking a test. That tends to make the tests load faster for each question, and students tend to be kicked out a little less often. So let's go into my button where the test is, and let's try out the test questions to see if I can copy and paste them. Alrighty, here I am in the test, and I should be able to press Control A and select the test. But guess what? I cannot. And I cannot paste it either. Nothing comes back. So I cannot select. It will not stick when I try to select, and when I do Control A, nothing happens. It goes to a blank screen. If I click the back button and try again, then this particular test of mine is set to multiple attempts. So I'm going to go ahead and try printing now. And the paper will actually come out of the printer. It will go through the printing motions. As you can hear, it's in the process of printing out that sheet right now for the test. And the students will get all excited thinking they have something, but I'm looking at a blank piece of paper. There isn't a thing on this sheet of paper. So this will prevent your students from making an additional copy of your tests in Blackboard. So to review, from Inez's website, we copy and paste this particular script into your Blackboard tests instructions. And you need to make sure that before you do that, you turn off your visual text box editor and be sure that it's set to HTML prior to pasting. I hope you find this helpful.